Alright, so Cobra, here's going to be the border game you sent me. So, starting out, I see your 5 stacking, so this might be a little bit more. I'm going to be critiquing a bit more on your team play rather than the individual play because I see that because playing as a team is different than playing individually when it comes to just trying to be aggressive, make plays, things like that. Where if I'm solo queuing, I'm going to be trying to go for more of the aggressive solo plays that really are more higher risk but higher reward because I can't rely on my team. But with a team, you can rely on things. You can rely on strategies and things like that. So it's different. So, see your blue team. Nothing amazing about the bans. The one thing I would say is on this map, if you don't have a Mira player, then ban Mira rather than Echo, because most people. So Echo is banned a good amount of the time, even though the majority of all players do not play Echo. So I would say on this map, Mira is more important of a ban than an Echo ban is. So that's if you don't have anyone playing her. Now, if you have someone who can play her and knows how to use her effectively, then don't ban her, ban someone else, ban maybe Maestro or someone else. It doesn't really matter. But it really just comes down to if you're not going to utilize it, then take out one of the stronger operators. So with that, let's see, who do they ban? Mozzie, great ban. That's going to change so much. It's a dumb ban, it really is. Like, Mute can do the same thing, basically. Mute, Valkyrie, whatever. That's just not a good pick. Oh no, reported. Reported. Alright, so overall, good team composition from what I can see. Yeah, overall, good team composition. Mira's in play, so Twitch and Buck combined shouldn't be a problem. Thatcher could help. The one change I would make is maybe instead of an IQ, have a Nomad for some runouts. But other than, or it brings someone with smokes. But other than that, there's nothing really to change. Nothing glaringly wrong.
Or might then maybe go to CCTV. Yeah, they're armory locked.
So you know where the bomb. So I understand that you're trying to get a bomb, a drone in sight. However, this, in my opinion, is kind of an unnecessary risk for when you're going to be going for the attack, because spawning on the west side, you're gonna have to go to the balcony no matter what, and it's gonna take time for your teammates to get there. So it'll be easier for you to just run up to the west wall, chunk your drone, and then have it come in through this doorway here, and that way you can that would allow you to get your drone to help drone out areas because one, it's going to help you. You're going to be able to drone it out. You're then not going to be risking the drone, and it's easier just to put this thing outside somewhere rather than having it just stay up here, because you know where the bomb site is. You don't need to find it. You don't really care about what the operator selection is because it's nothing amazing, and no matter, a lot of times it comes down more to the defenders don't really change too much except maybe Amira, but even on this map, Amira isn't going to change an amazing amount just because everybody's so used to Mira being run here. Then most of your team is going to drone in the doorway behind there. So if you got your drone and threw it up onto this area over here, then you can drone out this area, which lets you drone over here and here quicker. And because of that, you can say whether or not this is clear, and then your teammates can clear out over there, and so you're going to spend half the time doing the drone work. And yes, it's not going to change a lot of time, but it could be another 10-15 seconds or so, depending on how thoroughly you want to really drone and how good you are at droning. So it can save some time.
What's up?
But you can barely
Alright,
see
cool.
CCTV.
One's
here.
on metal stairs.
One thing is that if you spawning back here, there's the camera right here that you can see. So the first thing you should do is aim for that camera, get rid of that one, and then you can get rid of that one. Now, yes, somebody from spawning Valley will probably get rid of it. However, it's easier just to make sure that it gets banned 100. Like you gotta make sure that it gets destroyed. And if you're the one destroying it, then you know it's destroyed. You know that they have no information from this camera or this one. And being Thermite, I mean, you're not in a rush to get anywhere, so.
Oh, she's running out.
Is anybody in CCTV?
Oh, hey, who the fuck stole my kill?
I was shooting him back.
You will.
Do they have a mute or anything? Or
They have a mira. Security.
run out! She's still outside.
Why did Mira do a run out there? That is weird. Okay. But right now, what I'm going to be saying is you need to get your buck to kind of change. So, one, you need to be droning security. I'm not sure if it was cleared out or not. And I know that IQ got a kill onto the Ella from her doing a run out. However, I don't think that was in security. So I'd say make sure that here, hold on, I want to see whether or not you get a call out.
Oh, she's running out.
Is anybody in CCTV?
Oh, hey, who the fuck stole my kill?
I was shooting him back.
You will.
Do they have a mute or anything? Or
Okay, so I'm not sure if a call was made for security to get droned. I heard the question asked, but I'm not sure if anybody actually answered it because everyone was talking about the IQ kill. So I'd say now if the call out was made that it's cleared, then great. You don't have to worry about it. However, really you should be worrying about droning. And so that's kind of your job for security. I mean, you're a Thermite. There's no purpose in you taking a fight. Then I would say you want to make it so that your buck, you want to give callouts to him saying you want him to go downstairs to get rid of this mirror window. Because that mirror window is a pain to deal with. Now, yes, you can use grenades and it's not too much of an issue.
run out!
However,
Run out! She's still outside.
yeah, this really isn't too much of an issue to deal with because one, you have the choice of you can either bounce grenades off of here, like you can go to your position, throw a grenade, have it bounced off and land, or you can go from below with Buck. Now they are running a pulse, however, if you put one from your position, if you actually rappel right here, if you rappel down a little bit, you could actually see the doorway into the workshop area. So Buck only has to go roughly about here, and he can get rid of that mirror window. So you can cover him from that angle. Then from there, he can go and he can take out the half wall area.
Hey, guy in mira, last one.
I got her to the ADS. if you want to try. But
Right now, you should be worrying more about droning rather than... You should be the one droning because you have no purpose in really trying to take fights at this point. And you should really be saying to the Buck, hey Buck, we need you to go do this. We need you to go below to get rid of this mirror window. Because relying on a Twitch drone, yes, it can work, but it's a bit more... It's easier to just send the Buck. Then also the... Right now, you don't know if this wall is actually clear or not. Yes, the mirror window got destroyed, but that doesn't mean that they're just going to always run away. You have to confirm whether or not they ran back to the bunker area. And because right now, if they are still playing here aggressively, they could theoretically swing out and gun you. Now it's a stupid thing to do considering you have like, about 3 guns on this area. However, I don't trust in the intelligence of other Siege players most of the time. There's a reason why Cav is always used in the gold rank and why she's always banned now.
There's gone.
Pulse is downstairs. Hey, can we do the half wall? Nah? Alright.
I'm holding up.
You have drones. I know you have 2 of them. I haven't seen you use your drones yet, even though you're a thermite. Your job's been like, you've done your job now, so you need to use your drone. You need to figure out, okay, is there somebody playing in the half wall? Where is this dock at? Where is this pulse at? Where can I effectively plant? Where can I not plant? Because if you make a call, because you have the bomb, you dictate where this bomb goes down. So at this point, you could make a call out for your team. Guys, we need you. I will drone you guys in. We kill this dock. I will run in after you. The pulse will be playing below with a nitro cell. I will run to the, not the armory, but I think it's customs? I can't even remember what the name of it is. But not the armory over here, but if you run to the other one, you can hop up on the desk and plant there, and you're immune to the nitro cells and to the, you're immune to nitro cells and to, what else? Yeah, and gunfire. What? That's like bullets and bombs. You're immune to bullets and bombs. Got it. Now, Pulse is the only one alive. You're planting on a hole. This is bad. This is bad from you. You're putting it at the default plant position. Okay. However, none of your team is playing below, so a Pulse can get a nitro cell kill on you. You're also playing on a hole right now. So if they see that, they can just gun you. They don't even need the pulse scanner. And they don't even need to use a nitro cell. So theoretically, if this pulse can use if this pulse knows can be playing below, he can gun you down now. Your next buddy picks up the diffuser and goes for a plant. He can then theoretically nitro cell that person. Now it's a 2v1. Well, that pulse now can no longer play vertically effectively. Now, theoretically, you could try and possibly even get a kill there, turning into a 1v1. However, most of the time, you're going to be able to get the plant down. However, now it's a 2v1. And if this pulse is smart, he can theoretically clear a room by taking one-on-one gunfights. And so if all you have to do is win a one-on-one gunfight 2 times, then you can win. That's not a ridiculous thing to ask for. So by planting here, you're risking your life and theoretically the win. Now, the chances of you losing a 4v1 are incredibly slim. However, it is there. Now, you better... Yeah, you won. Now, the moment the bomb goes down, you gotta fucking move, because if they have a pulse in play, you do not want to play there. So, with that, I want to actually find something from... What's this? Oh, that's okay. Damn. I want to find this one clip from somebody's stream. I've gone by to like 4 different Discords, and I gotta figure out which one it was in. Uh, which I really want to find this clip because it does show you how to it does show how a way to it shows basically how to effectively counter a pulse. And I can't remember where I actually put this. And that actually annoys me. Oh yeah. I can't figure out for the life of me where it was. But it was basically a 1 versus 4 clutch where 3 of them kind of just peaked, so I gunned them down. But the issue is the last one was a pulse and was playing vertically, so I got hit by a goo mine. But knowing that I couldn't take it out, this was on Villa, and knowing I couldn't take it out, I walked my way through the site because I knew Pulse was playing below. And when he was there, I jumped up on top of a table. At which point I could take out the goo mine, smoke the doorway and the rotate hole, and from there was able to plant. The Pulse tried to nitro cell me, shoot me, and neither of them worked, so he had to then go for a one-on-one fight. So it was just a good example. And it kind of sucks I couldn't find it, but
Got 3K, nice.
anyway.
That Miro sat behind the.
Why did you ban Jackal? What is the point of the Jackal ban? Anyway, overall, that round a lot was more just droning is what I thought the issue was, where you were kind of just there. And you open up the wall, yes. However, that was really the extent of what happened, and you could have been doing a lot more by using just by using your drone. And if you're worried about a possible run out or so, you could either get Buck to go help on that because your Buck isn't needed in other positions. Well, yeah, your Buck is mainly needed below. So having him ready for runouts, then he can just do that for the first minute or so, and you can then effectively drone to help your team. Then you can send the Buck in, get rid of the Mira, open up the wall, and then Buck can do whatever, and you can go for a much smarter plant using your drones. Really, like your team won that, but they won it off of fragging power, not really playing, I'd say, better than the other team strategically wise. And due to that, really just due to that, it was, I'd say that's the reason you won. So really, that could have been, I'd say that it really was just droning as the issue there. Like, it wasn't bad, your use of thermite as in playing passive and trying to just wait until your job needs to be until your job can be done safely, so that was good, but you could have been doing a bit better on the support role. Sam, line up. God, I'm looking at your chat and I am so happy I just turned my chat off. Makes life so much easier. What are they doing?
I didn't see the last one.
Oh, it's dude, they're already salty. It's one round in. Why are they even playing this game?
Workshop window. Just in case someone puts one
Right, so let's see. Based on this, there's really, in all honesty, there's not much difference between attacking anywhere on this map. Really isn't that different, in my opinion. The first goal is always to take CCTV, and from there you spread out in whatever direction you want to go. So for this site, take security, take then just open up above, and you're good.
Okay, Claymore on workshop window.
You can breach this here, mate.
Oh, we're taking top first.
That was bad. You need to check the wall to your left, the doorway, because by not checking it, yes, there's probably not anyone there. However, there could possibly be someone there, and they just gun you down when you're not paying attention. And now with Thermite dead, they have no way of opening the wall. They apply a lot less vertical pressure, so it really, that's just it's a little thing you gotta be worried about. The other thing is that based off of this lineup that you have, I would be running a Claymore, not flashbangs, because it looks like your team is doing more of the entry fragging role. So if you can get another Claymore on a run out, then that can just help your team more.
There's an L up there.
Okay.
Root is dead.
Is there an L on mine?
Okay, you know security is clear now based on the fact that someone's actually in there. You need to be making callouts.
Hey, can you
There you go.
Oh, she's in the...
So one thing is that you should have made the call out, gotten the ping, but at that point, instead of continuously pinging, you should have gone off of the drone and from the rappel tried to move to an angle to get an angle on the alibi. Because even if your teammate loses the gunfight, you could be there for a refrag. And if you're only looking, I mean, you have the information on the alibi already, so you don't need to continuously ping. You instead need to be getting into a position to actually react to that. And yes, you're helping your team by pinging, but you need to be ready to gun her down if she gets the kill and tries to run out again.
She's peeking. Ella was an armory, whatever.
Alright, so Ella's an armory, but the main thing is security is clear. So at this point, security and security hallway are the two main things you gotta worry about. Armory isn't that big of a deal so long as you make sure your teammate knows about it. And well, not that they know about it, but just like, hey, we don't know if armory is clear. However, for
oh my gosh, she's peeking the hallway. Can someone please pinch on this dude? We caught him out like 20.
A is clear. Go in A window. No, not here. CoolCobra, not here. A window.
Whatever, just plan.
a good call from the Buck. Like, I think that was the Buck, so great call from him. Okay. When you get that call, you just jump in. You just hop in and you plant. You don't try and waste a little bit of time like, okay, maybe I should be a little bit cautious, but he said so. No, just trust the call out and just jump in. Just jump the fuck in and say, okay. Now, the other thing is that I think you spent a little bit too long droning, and you instead should have, once the alibi was dead and you knew the hallway was clear, you should have gotten off of the drone, gone to thermite the hatch, and at that point you jump out and then get ready to go for a plant on A.
Oh my god, there's an ADS right here. Okay.
I'm hoping during this time you say bomb is going down.
I don't have the ACOG, so I can't hold it. He's over here.
Alright, good one.
They reinforced all of A, dude. We could have planted in B.
Alright, Donut Man. Let's get you some frags. Don't go frag hunting. The best games are when you go 0-0 and 0 and you just win because you were there. Make them fear your drone. Make them think, ah shit, this is goddamn CoolCobra's drone. We already dead. Alright, so they can go wherever the fuck they want. Bolo's running Hibana, which is strange, but okay. Right, saving the drone. But do you know where they are?
I think Warden played more than no.
He had noise on his map right now. We didn't bring any smokes or like flashbang.
Just make sure that you check for that camera next time. When you are approaching from spawn, make sure you check the runouts that they can do. You can do a runout from here. There was a clip from... I can actually probably find that clip, but let's see if I can find this clip, because come on, okay, let's see if it's under the Rainbow Six.
Opportunity to knock the team off. Ninjas.
I don't remember if it's in the past 30 days, and I don't want to have to go through all these clips. And I can't even load it. Okay, why not? But basically, the Legion ran out from here and domed, I can't remember who it was, but right where your positioning is at the start of the round. And I think it was a pretty impactful round, so it really was... yeah, it's just something that it's just something you have to be aware of. Make sure that you didn't check if this was actually opened in any way. If it had been shot open, you would have been gunned down if they were holding an angle. You stop sprinting, then start up again. But if anybody was holding an angle here, you would have probably been gunned down.
I'm gonna get a drone or the cam on the east there.
They have a tool mirror set up inside the zip.
I got a cam. Jaeger is east there. Fuck off, Jaeger.
Okay, your job right now is to help clear security. It doesn't matter what this mirror is doing, so long as she stays there. So in this situation, what I would do is I would rappel right about here. Make sure that there's a claymore on this doorway. And from that position, I would then be waiting here. Either I would then send my drone in to help clear security. And at that point, once that is clear, I would then bring it out to help to check this mirror window. Just see, is anyone actually playing it, or is it just clear? Is there a Jaeger device? Is there a mute jammer? Can Buck just nade the mirror window? And just find the information, find the hole in their defense that can let our team win. Then, if Mira tries to do a run out where she runs from the doorway into here, then you're in a position, rappelling right here, to rappel up and go for a refrag. The moment that she steps out, she gets detected.
I got in CCTV yet.
I'm hoping you made a call out that was just opened. Then the next thing is that if you are holding an angle like this and your teammate is directly in front of you like this, rappel up higher and use the column here for cover. So lean left, use this column for cover, and then look down there.
Oh, someone's in break room.
Because right now you're just looking at your teammate. And if your teammate moves left or right, which happens a lot when people are trying to win gunfights, then they're going to get hit by your bullets. And you may hesitate, which can then let the enemy kill you as well.
They dropped. They opened the impact floor and
Oh,
dropped.
one ping, oh my god, there's one guy. I think somebody push him, please. Left side, hard left, hard left.
He's to the right. To the right.
No, I don't think you know.
Hard right side, hard right, please.
I just rushed this
What
site,
just
bro.
happened? What is this? Okay.
I literally just
There's
walked
Legion
in the
there.
B site, bro. No
This is just weird. This Legion is weird.
I was droning it out midnight. You were already inside.
Oh yeah, I was inside. I thought you guys would be covering behind me, but
So that's kind of why you need to drone out, though, because, I mean, you never hopped on your drone and your team missed an area. And the one time that you had cleared out that area, you had droned it, you had cleared that angle. You cleared the spot Legion was hiding in.
No,
So that's something that, like, is the reason why you
but
drone.
did we really ping him?
So right now, I would say you should be running the, just run, like, Thermite's fine. But the one adaptation I would say is that if you know there's a mirror window, and they're doing that mirror window setup, run the Thatcher and Hibana combo rather than Thermite, because that lets you open up the wall from a distance from a rappel safely. So it gives you a lot more flexibility when it comes to opening the wall. And a lot of opening the wall is more about establishing kill holes or lines of sight and forcing them back to the bunker area rather than actually trying to open the wall for rotates. Alright, whoever this warden is, just know. I hope they're just memeing. Now, the one thing I would say is that the one mistake of this is you should... Well, two mistakes is you drop the warden for a Jaeger and drop... Really, I'd say drop you, in all honesty, for a Mira. Because I think Mira on this map is incredibly powerful, especially for an armory defense. So you should be trying to go for that rather than, because yeah, just go for that. And then, but you, in order to play the mirror correctly, you need a Jaeger there to protect you. Wow. Okay. 9 out of 10. Goddamn.
Got 2 kills. Oh boy, it's gonna be.
Frick you.
There's a drone inside armory.
Oh, who the fuck told me?
What the fuck up, infidel? What? I'm not sad I have chat off. I'm really not. I don't want to deal with this.
Where's the other mirror?
Alright, so I'm gonna assume basic mirror setup is about to come in.
Oh, you gave him a kill.
Okay, fuck there.
Okay, yes, you're getting Lion. However, at this point, it's probably not something you have to worry too much about. Okay. Also, pulling out the shotgun is not the play. Then I'd say this is also not the best either, because by... So, okay, so let's go back a few seconds. If a Lion comes out, that tells you they're either trying to push or that they're being really, really stupid. So, well, okay, actually, they're either trying to push, they're trying to catch a roamer, or they're trying to they're trying to just press 4 and win. So with that, the what I would say is, yeah. So what I'm trying to say is you need to be aware of where your first threat's going to be coming from, just in case they do push, because it may just be an Ash rush, it may be an entire team, it could just be a feint, it could just be someone being stupid. You don't know. So you need to be looking for your first sign of threats. So by knowing that there is a Legion here playing your window, that means that your first threat is going to be coming from that doorway right there. So that's where you should be looking. Then because that doorway is on your left, because you should be leaning to the left here, because that's how you're going to be able to see it. Leaning right is leaning the wrong way. So we have that there.
That was not bad. He's
Box
dead.
CCTV. Box CCTV break room. Heading to break room.
So you heard a Legion go off. You can assume it's at the top of the stairs because of how close it is. So with that, you need to instantly... You should not be pushing this. You should instead be taking your... you should be taking your... Well, yeah, basically you should put away your shotgun, take out your submachine gun, and be holding an angle on this window, not actually getting close to it, because the gun you have has high fire rate but not high damage. So if you want to be effective, it's better to take medium range fights where you can accurately hit the head, and you have good old accuracy through volume, and you have a high fire rate weapon. So yeah, you can do that. So that'd be better. However, one thing I will say is I like having this window boarded up, because by having it boarded up, it stops them from just running through the doorway here, jumping in through the window, and then possibly gunning you down. Because if you check left and they go through here, and you're playing Ring Around the Rosie, well, you may be thinking, where the hell did they go? And then they shoot you in the back. So this is not a smart fight to take.
One's in.
So,
Box is CCTV
so right now, I'd say you should be falling back a bit
break room.
to try and take a bit longer of an engagement. And then laying down, I mean, crouching isn't really the best in my opinion here. And it'd be better to, partially because this is head level, this is not. So with that, you should be, I think you should be back further, holding an angle so you can see maybe half of the actual doorway, because you don't care about this half, you care about this half where their head's going to appear. And if you need to, you can then swing out. You can swing out, which will then allow you to get to see more of the doorway over here. But unless it's needed, then you're just unnecessarily exposing your body.
I got it.
So I don't like this because I just don't like the laying down and holding this angle, because I think it puts you at a severe disadvantage. Because if you try and crawl out, you're going to be slower, and your head's going to be a relatively easy target. Then you're going to have issues adapting. Like, let's say that you missed some shots. Well, you have to stand up and run away in order to you have to go through the standing up animation, instead of just being able to peek quickly, get back, peek, get back, peek, get back. And so now you have to go peek, stand up, get back, peek, stand up, get back, peek, step up, get back. It's an extra step, which I don't like. Now, there are some times where laying down will actually help you, and it is yeah, so there are times, especially if you're in like one-on-one situations and you can effectively hold angles. And I really wish I could find the video, because it really is. Yeah, I do that as well, and so I'm trying to, can't remember for the life of me where I had put this video, and I saw it earlier today, so I'm not sure how I managed to actually lose it. Yeah, I'm scrolling through Discord right now, so that's why I'm making weird noises without anything playing. Yeah, so it wasn't here. I genuinely just cannot remember. But I really just can't remember. So I'm. And you know, the thing is, the guy had like a follow thing, and I said I declined it, even though I'm a mod in his chat. So I have no idea where I have no idea what I did with this. I really don't. So, oh well.
I think they have a nomad. Diffuser on.
They're downstairs. No, bugs on. Wait, metal.
Basically, I'd say only lay down if you're holding an angle that you know someone's going to walk through, and you know that you're not going to get pressured from other directions, and you have clear line of sight onto where you want to be aiming, while also being able to get away from that position. Because if you can't, in my opinion, if you can't effectively get away from there, there's no point in doing it, because it's kind of I think there's a better place for you to do something. Because if you're there trying to if you're there and you say miss some shots and you now have no way of getting away, you're dead. But if you could play a different angle with the ability to shoot and then get away, I think that's superior.
Metal stairs.
Yeah, I got him.
Alright, so you know Buck is bucking, so holding this angle I don't think is good, because this is just making it so that you can't, if Buck manages just to hit underneath you right now, you're dead, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Alright, now you know there's a Legion in this doorway. There is no reason for you to be holding an angle if you're going to be getting a sound cue that somebody will come through this doorway.
I cannot.
Where was he?
I can't win.
Ping nomad.
Literally, I found him. Put him in two different fucking.
Hello, nomad. I can't.
Diffuser in breaker room. Diffuser in breaker room. Please, you need to go.
Okay, so kind of just bad timing there. However, what I will say is, I want to go back a little bit. So you know diffusers in break room. Now, I don't have a clue where break room actually is, so
I cannot.
Where was he?
I can't win.
Ping nomad.
Literally, I found him.
So I'd say right now you need to be making calls to this Legion that you left A to go hold down B.
Put him in two different fucking.
So I'm not sure if you knew he was there. I really don't. But anyway, good kill there. Now,
Diffuser in.
you know this guy just got pinged. You know you have diffuser. So at this point, you should be establishing a crossfire with your teammate rather than going for a individual play.
Breaker room. Diffuser in breaker
So
room.
at that point, what I would do is instead, why this person's running in, I don't understand, but doesn't matter. What I would instead be doing is falling back to behind the B bomb to get an angle on roughly this area, so that when she does come peeking around, you tell Legion to swing the doorway from the A bomb site, which will then allow you to put two bodies onto one, and she's not going to win that gunfight.
Please, you need to go.
However, she reacted a bit faster than you did, won the fight. Legion now didn't refrag.
Really bad game.
He's left side.
Oh god. What the hell?
Left.
Okay, why do that? Why did you pull out your zoom line?
Bad peek there, but
I didn't realize you had already rushed in.
really just kind of mess up at the end. 4v2 didn't, because you didn't turn chat off, no skill. Anyway, same setup coming out. And then there's some angles I'll show you later. 20 seconds in, they're either rushing or it's a useless one. So at that point, you should be swinging around over here, because even if they know your positioning, you need to contest them, because you don't want to have 5 of them just instantly take A. You want to at least be able to do some form of damage, and by swinging, that's going to give your team another 5-ish. That's going to give your teammates an earlier call out.
I have a goo on the
There are
door.
times where you can move and times when you can't. Now, you're the only one over here, so you need to be playing this mirror window and helping the Valkyrie out. You see, so this is really bad, because you know that Legion's playing here, so why are you... There's no reason to be holding this. You need to go back to your mirror window.
There's a goo on the door front input on the hallway.
I mean, right now you're literally looking at your teammate. This is really dumb. No, now you're playing the bunker position, even though you have a mirror window.
They're inside.
You play the mirror window up until it's lost, then you fall back to bunker. You don't just fall back to bunker and leave this mirror window here by itself. There's no purpose. Then you're staring. Now you're staring through a wall, and like I don't know what's wrong with you and Border. Like I don't know if Border hurt you, and like first it's the window, now it's the wall. Like just can't hurt you. They can't hurt you. Yeah, they can, but you should be worried more about what's happening outside of this mirror window and supporting the Valkyrie, because that's the entire purpose of this mirror window. Because if you know that somebody's about to throw a grenade here, you know you can get back. If you know that they're about to send some Hibana pellets in, then you can tell the Valkyrie, get off cams, shoot these pellets, thank you. You then can see, well, if somebody comes around and tries to swing on the Valkyrie, well, you can swing the doorway and then gun them down. So you have options by using this mirror window. However, you're staring at a fucking wall. Okay, stop with the wall. Please, just stop with the wall.
They're shooting it from outside hallway.
Now you should be making callouts to your team that some outside cameras are still alive. Where did Bandit come from? I actually have no idea.
Pushing it in from archive.
Okay, so you know they're running Twitch, and so that's gonna make you. You need to play your mirror windows a bit more cautiously now and pay more attention to Twitch trends. Okay, so this is kind of a your fault thing, where you. Oh, that's actually. Let's see what you saw. Did you see a head? I think you saw a head. But this is kind of a, I'd say it's a bad peek, because one, you're leaning the wrong direction. So here you're leaning the right direction, now you're leaning the wrong one, so now they're going to see your body before you can see them, and due to that they're going to have a slight advantage. Then also, you should really just be investing more in a burst here. If the burst gets a kill, then great. If it doesn't, then get down, because this is reinforced. This thing is bulletproof. You will not die to anything through here. No explosives, no bullets, no nothing. So if you just swinged out leaning left, shot a few bullets because you know the mirror window's been destroyed, then get down, you could survive this. And then you went out to the right, even though this is bulletproof, so kind of a misplay on you there. Then if you also know that your teammates, you're getting pushed from this doorway, you could also, if you wanted to, instead go here, use your shotgun to open up the bottom of this, so if they run in, you can gun them down, which lets you play passively, but also lets you contest the bomb.
What?
Right now, you need to be making callouts to your team that Twitch and Lion are both in office.
Why did...
What? Fuck off, he's low. That's 2 health.
They're both on the same spot.
Well, what the same spot is would help. Oh yeah, you're looking at your teammate. Actually, wait, you went to cams, I'm pretty sure. Do you just have no cams?
What? Fuck off, he's low.
Yeah, I think you went to cams and said you had none, so you just went back. Okay, yeah. I was gonna criticize you for watching your teammate, but because you went through cams, it's not like you have no good information. Like there's no information that you can get.
Oh my god, dude!
Fine. We gotta switch to other place then. Okay.
The plant.
Get off. Get off.
Oh, why did you break the hatch mirror? Oh, you should have put a reinforcement here.
Yeah,
And then hold it.
Why? They're not pushing that angle.
Anyone more?
So right now your team needs to adapt. So, alright, so I see that Rook has been dropped for Warden, someone's switched out with the mirror, and you're bringing a Jaeger. So at this point, there's going to be an adapt... What... I show now? I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to... Yeah, I'll do it now since it makes the most amount of sense. You go over there. You go there. And I'll show you the adaptation that I would do if I got the same situation that you did. And later on, I'll go more into detail on this map. But for now, I will just show you the adaptation that I would make for my team in order to hold this site. Because normally if you switch off a mirror and someone switches on, you're going to have different ideas, and everybody does their own things, and some people may not see this. However, I invest way too much time in this, so this is the adaptation I would do. Because a lot of it comes down to more how do you adapt to pushes in holding a defense rather than your defense actually being amazing. Most defenses are roughly the same, and instead they're there just to you're there to play it, and you're saying that you can play the defense better than they can react to it. So if you can constantly adapt your defense to what their attack is, and they don't adapt to you, then that's going to hurt them in the long run. Let's see, my border, yes. Okay, I want defense. That is not one. This is fantastic. Second floor armory, and I'm going Maestro, but you would be going Alibi in this. I mean, not Alibi. You would be going Mira theoretically. You basically, if you have a mirror window, you go Mira. I mean, if you have access to mirror, you go Mira.
Secure the area. Keep
But
the bombs
basically,
protected.
you would come over. You get the same reinforcements over here,
10 seconds.
where I don't need to reinforce. You'd reinforce those two. Mirror window on this wall to look out, and from there, you would then come over to.
Op 4 has yet to
You then would
locate a
have
bomb.
reinforcement here, here, and here. So 3 more reinforcements. You're at 5 now. 6, 7, 8, 9. And then right here would be the mirror window. Because you notice that this one wasn't being effective enough. So you need a way to actively contest inside of office. This mirror window isn't meant to stop an office push. It's meant to stop just a late flank coming from there, and then let the person kind of play this area a bit safer, because they don't have to worry about their back as much. However, if it's an actual office push, you want to invest a mirror window here, and so by reinforcing everything around here, you can make it safe. You will need a Jaeger device there to stop any grenades, and I would say you'd also want a mute jammer to stop any Hibana pellets. And that's kind of the adaptation I would make. Then midway through the round, if you say, okay, they're not pushing from, I mean, yes, you would also have this shotgun wall, but basically, you're just changing a mirror around more than anything else and adding a few reinforcements. But with that, if midway through the round you say, okay, they're not pushing from if you say they're pushing office, then you come over with your shotgun and you can open up the bottom and top of here. So the purpose of this is, one, it gives you angles into the actual doorway. Like right here, you can effectively shoot if you want to. You can also come over here and shoot like this. So you have the ability to actually contest and swing if necessary. And from there, if they manage to get behind the B bomb and go for a plant, you can chuck your nitro cell right about here, and you can have it land around this general area. So that's kind of the adaptation I make. So instead of, you'd be investing more bodies in office, like one person right here. And another thing is, you could theoretically have someone play here, but you would need a Jaeger device there in order to stop any grenades coming from there. And what you could also do is, if you have this mirror window here, you could open up a bunch of kill holes like that, so you can't vault through it, but you can shoot through it. So with the mirror window, you could be looking in like this, going, okay, are they going to be doing anything? Are they going to be doing anything? Giving callouts to your buddy here. Oh, someone just jumped in there. This guy needs to swing for that. Oh, they're running outside there. Well, here's the thing: you're not going to want to invest like a. You're not going to be able to invest thermite or Hibana's there. Because Hibana, okay, shoot pellet, shoot pellet, shoot pellet. Thermite charge goes down. What the fuck are you doing? Thermite gets shot. So they don't want to invest with that. They don't want to invest in that. So this position, combined with somebody playing there, you can basically cover the hallway, you can cover a jump in from there, you can cover the office area, and even if you say the mirror window gets destroyed here, but you spent enough time, well, now you can get out, go back to site, you can play behind here if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you could play this general area, and that would be reinforced. You don't have that angle, but you could be holding right here. You could then open up the wall, hold this kind of pixel peakish area. You could not shotgun out this and instead shotgun out only the bottom, and then be holding the feet level thing. So you have options by doing that. Now I'm going to end it and go back to the good old stream. That's what I would do. I would change the mirror window up and make callouts to my team. Hey guys, make sure that somebody's playing this damn mirror window. You have a mirror in place, so do not put this up here. It's kind of a waste. Then that, combined with the fact that a mirror window is going to go here, it's a bad what is it? Barbed wire. Instead, you want to put it out around this general area, because that's going to stop anybody from actually pushing this mirror window. And if a Twitch drone wants to come in, then it will slow down the Twitch drone, and mirror can possibly see that, and that could save the mirror window.
Let me open this. Can I open this? Open this. Oh god, fuck.
Okay, so
I don't know why that.
all right, right now I'd say you're going to a bad position, because this position is actually really easy to get rid of if you know someone's playing up here. Because all you have to do is drone from this doorway, go crawl underneath that window, bring the drone out, ping you, pre-fire through the window, and you're dead. Like, it's really not a strong position if people know about it, or if they know you're playing here, then it's not a strong position. That's why I don't like. That's kind of like a cheeky thing you can do, where if I know the enemy is going to push in through this doorway, I'm going to come to your position and hold an angle. However, if the enemy isn't actively pushing through offices, I will not go up here, because I mean, if you're at this window, you're going to default check here because that's where a lot of people like to be. So that is what, that's kind of, I disagree with this positioning.
Skilled.
Wait, well, I'm over here.
I'm watching the office security from here. Window here, Cobra.
You gotta get out of there. They know your positioning. They know you're there, and yes, you got the down. And they, okay, and so that was good on Midnight for getting the kill. That was a call that you should have made. However, right now you need to get out of there because there's no reason to contest this Thatcher. Instead, what you should be doing is, because your office control is now destroyed and they know you were playing up there, you should rotate to this mirror window's positioning. And one, if you had better barbed wire in that position, you wouldn't have to worry about that area. But you can play this mirror window still. So that's what you should be moving to.
When I ran out, that just 50 speed.
Do not jump back up there.
Let's see if we can ping her again. I don't see them anymore.
You need to sit still. Do not peek this. Oh, you need to say 2 are in offices, 1 is down. Play Pat. Okay. So that was a bit of over aggressiveness where you. So let's go back a little bit. So you missed a few shots. Okay. And I want to actually see whether or not. I'm trying to hear whether or not the door behind you got shot open, because. So. I think the door behind you got open, but what I would have done in your situation is, instead of trying to run to this doorway here where I have no cover, I would have either fallen off the back, and at that point I would then peek. Now I think the door was actually shot open, however, you can still just get back and you can just make call outs like, okay, 1's downed in office in the southeast side, Lion is still in there, and 1 is outside on the east balcony. Because you know all 3 positions. You then have no reason to peek this, and instead of trying to contest the doorway, you should be getting into your little corner and forcing him to come to you and take an awkward fight. Because right now it's a pistol against a machine gun, and you peek into the spray, and that's how you got down there. You also should be making a call out to Bolo that somebody is downed in this area.
Yeah, right there.
And there you go.
Oh, they were there, okay.
So really there, I'd say it's... So on attack, you had issues when it came to droning. I'm not sure if maybe you were scared about runouts or anything. However, I'd say if you're scared about runouts, either talk with your team and have either bring more claymores, bring a nomad, or bring or switch roles with someone, where instead of being the thermite, you're the Thatcher, or so that you can really, I'd say just, it's kind of up to you how you position yourself. However, it's also kind of I'd just say it really on attack, you need to be a bit more trusting in your teammates to do their job of protecting or refragging you. And at that point, you should be helping your team drone more, because it really, you weren't doing much on the offense. Now, you weren't necessarily doing bad, but you weren't really doing too much. You could have been faster at your job in some areas, and kind of like helped your team go a little bit more smoothly. Then on the defense, I'd say that you kind of messed up in your, well, I wouldn't say mess up as so much as you didn't really know. Like, the positionings that I go into are based off of the fact that I'm above level 300, so I have that much experience in the game, and due to that, I'll position myself as a level 300 would. I know what I can and can't do, how I like to react to situations, how based on my aim and play style, how I like to take fights. Based on that, that's how I would take a fight. So I'd say I'm kind of critiquing your positioning on defense a bit, because there were really the Jaeger death was one that was, I think it was it was questionable why you pushed the doorway rather than just trying to fall back. Then it could just be heat of the moment thing. You didn't think about it and you just did what was natural, which it makes sense. But I mean, that's why I can see things that differently than you do. You may think that, oh, I just lost the gunfight, I couldn't do much there. While I think, well, you could have done this differently, you could have done that differently. Then on, let's see, then on Mirror, you kind of took a fight that you lost, where you peeked the lion, got killed by him, and really that just came down to it was kind of a bad peek, but it's a bad peek in my eyes. It's something which at my level is something I wouldn't do. And also based on my playstyle, I would say, okay, knowing these angles exist, this doesn't exist, I should just burst fire because I have no reason to put my entire magazine downrange if I don't even see someone. Anyway, with that, I'll now go through Border and kind of show you the basic setups I have and kind of the changes I would make to some of the adaptations you can do, basic setups, basic attacks. Right, so for now, I need to switch teams, and there we go. So I'm going to show you kind of each site and how I like to hold it. And then from there, I'll show you how to attack it. So armory lockers first. Let's see. Yeah, I'll run Mira just to show you a bit.
Secure the bombs.
So beginning reinforcements. And why does that happen with my mouse? I don't know, but it's gone now. Alright, so first thing, double reinforcement on the walls. Then you shotgun out the CCTV wall, as well as you open up the door. Really? Come on. So, you then have a mirror window there, kind of default. Now really, the whole point of this wall is just applying pressure. Nobody wants to just sit down and drone right here, because you can't. They're worried about getting peeked from there, so they don't want to deal with that. Then with that, you can, the whole purpose of this is, you need a Jaeger device. So you need a Jaeger device there. Well, actually, no, you're not there, maybe there, and then a mute bandit charge on the wall. So the whole purpose of this window is one, to either support anybody in the security room, because you can swing out and gun down anybody who comes
If
in
you
like
remain in
this.
this zone, you will be
Then
detected by
also
hostiles.
just to kind of basically get easy picks. So what I mean by that is if I see somebody coming out here and they just look at this mirror window and run away, then a lot
You
of
have
times
entered
I will
enemy
actually
controlled
run
area.
out and
Leave
gun
now.
them
You've
down
been
like that,
spotted.
because I know that they're like, they don't want to deal with this, so they're just going to run away. But with this, I can also, if thermite tries the thermite nitro cell, if a Hibana charge
If you
goes
remain in
down,
this zone, you will
I
be
can,
detected by
so
hostiles.
let's see. Thermite charge goes down,
You will be
Hibana
detected
goes
if you remain in
down,
this
I can
area.
nitro
You have
cell
been
it, I
spotted
can
by hostiles.
contest
Fall
anybody
back.
here. If somebody wants to be stupid and hold an angle, peek and swing. Now, the one issue with this is somebody can
If you
repel
remain in this zone, you will be detected by
right
hostiles.
here
You
if
have
they
been
wanted
spotted.
to, chunk a nade at the doorway, or they could even repel there. Chunk a nade right about here, and it'll land right about there. Then you also have to be worried about the people coming from below. However, basically you play this mirror window up until this gets destroyed, wall gets opened, or anything, at which point you then can fall back to bunker area. So, with the bunker area, the way I have it set up is I shotgun open here, which allows me to contest the window since people like just jumping in there. Then I can also, yeah, really, I like being able to contest that. And because it's, I mean, people will try to nade you from this window or shoot you from this window if you're playing bunker. So now you can shoot back. Then I also open up this angle, because this lets me kill anybody just running in. This also is applicable to a defense of the ventilation workshop, because if they try and just rush, because in order to hold ventilation properly, you need pressure above, and for that you need to just have kill holes. If you don't have kill holes for the ventilation workshop, you're going to lose it. So with that, you have 2 reinforcements, mirror window, and that's really all you have to invest here. Then for this site, I would say put the 3 walls here. So you're at 5 now. Then this is going to change based on kind of your setup. So if you have a mirror window with, you've used the 3 here, 2 there, you're going to take, if you have mirror available, you reinforce these 4 walls. So that brings up the total to 9. Now the reason why you reinforce those walls is you put a mirror window down here, which allows you to contest really anything around, anything in offices. Then your last reinforcement can go wherever, I don't care. It changes, it's not really needed. However, this is only if you have mirror. If you don't have mirror, then you need to actively contest inside of office, because if this is just reinforced, then you really aren't going to have the information or the pressure being applied to the enemy to actually peak effectively. So with that, if you have mirror band, you're going to have the same reinforcement. So you have the 2 over there, 3 here, 4, 5 there. Then you're going to, actually, wait, was that 5? No, I'm miscounting. I'm being stupid. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those reinforcements there allow you to play somewhat inside of office, because you can hold around here, you can hold around this area, and you don't have to worry about the wall just yet. Now the wall isn't probably going to get opened, but it's going to get opened in time, and it's going to waste utility if they go for an office push. However, a lot of teams don't like doing office pushes, so this is where the adaptation comes in. So instead of having all these reinforcements here, you keep the 3 here, the 2 there, the 2 there, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you come over to here and you reinforce those 2 walls, so 8 and 9. So that cuts off any angles and allows you to swing the hallway a bit safer, because you don't have to worry about the long angle existing from all the way around here. I'm not even sure you can actually, yeah, you can look all the way down from outside and get an angle. So that's what so you can cut that off, if they are only doing security pushes. However, this is kind of just an adaptability thing, where if they do armory pushes, you set up for armory. If they are trying to push archives and offices, then you set up for that push. This just comes to adaptability and the strength of an in-game leader. So that's how I would kind of defend this site. And well, actually no, I still have to go into the player positioning. So I like having a mirror here because you can nitro cell stuff. And having a nitro cell, I think, is really important if you're playing that position because you don't have to swing out as much. So, like, if you theoretically, you could just go, you could throw that and
You will be detected if you
lands
remain in this
here.
area.
Probably
You
won't
have
actually
been
get a
spotted by
kill, but it
hostiles.
can
Fall
be
back.
effective. If, let's say, you see a shield or a rush, well, there you go, nitro
If you
cell
remain in this
there.
zone, you will be detected
And it's
by
things,
hostiles.
it's things like
You
that.
have
That's why I
been
like having a
spotted.
nitro cell. You can just kind of stop pushes just by not,
You have entered
just
an
by,
enemy
if you
controlled
see someone
area.
swinging,
Leave now.
oh, you're swinging, oh no, well, you're dead.
You will be
So,
detected
with
if
that,
you remain in this area.
That's why I like having nitro cells available here. Another thing is that this is a trick I saw from... who was it? I want to say it was... I can't remember. But... Nope, too high. But you can... Really? Alright, this is something you have to practice. You have to practice because, I mean, you see it's getting stuck pretty easily. But you can lay down right about here. Dunk a nitro cell like this. If you have this high enough, they may not know you're
You
there.
have entered an enemy
And
controlled
if
area.
this is
Leave
meant
now.
to stop a
You have been
thermite
spotted
charge
by
from going
hostiles.
down,
Fall back.
so this will kill a thermite going anywhere around here. And it really is going to do a lot of damage to anybody just in the general area. So it's one of the... It's really just... It's an effective nitro cell, but it's something you can only really do once. Even though I say that, as I think the team did it multiple times and the other team let them. But with that, it's just something that you have to practice. Like, I obviously haven't practiced this. Here we go. Kills the thermite every
If you
time.
remain in this zone, you will be detected by hostiles. Your
That's just a little
location has
trick
been
you can do.
compromised.
It's not... Remember that little tricks are not something you can rely on. Now, for actual, like, player positioning. So, back to that. So we have a mirror window on here. And you're going to be having... Normally, I like playing this position, and normally I'm mirror here, so it doesn't really change much. So with that, I put mirror here. I then normally like having a Legion right about here. The reasoning is he can get goo mines down the doorway, he can get them down there, he can put one in the window in case they're coming through there, he can swing out, get one there, he can then get one on the window. He can basically make it so you know if they jump into sight at all. Because there is the threat of just walking up this stairway, moving here, jumping in, gunning down mirror there, gunning down half wall, turning around, killing anyone coming from B. So that's why I like having a Legion here. Now you do need barbed wire in this doorway, because if you don't, they can walk in. So you normally have like a Legion playing here, ready to adapt to whatever happens. You have mirror playing here, and then you have somebody else, doesn't really matter who, playing either mirror window here, mirror window here. I like having this one over this one. However, you have to invest 4 reinforcements for it. So with that, you have three people playing here. Then the other 2 players, this is all based on the individual
Down to
skill
50
level of
seconds.
these 2 players. You either put them,
10 seconds left.
holding, oh damn it, I out of time. You put them holding security.
5 seconds left.
And one of my favorite positions in here is just holding here, because you can catch a lot of people off guard with this angle
You've reached the
if the
time
door's
limit.
closed, because they're gonna open the door, and I've actually caught people just on drones, and I'm just holding an angle. But really that just comes down to your own skill level. Then with let's see, yeah. So really that's just. Actually, no, I want to talk more about this, so I'm just going to kill myself this round, and then I'm going to go back to that site and explain a bit more about roaming.
Need to use your drone to locate a bomb. Insertion in 10 seconds.
basically you always have to have 3 people on or
5
near
seconds.
site. I like the one office. I like having one in office on the mirror window.
Mission is to locate
One
and
in
defuse a bomb.
yeah, I like having one in office on the mirror window.
Op
One
4
in
eliminated all friendlies.
what is it? One office, one playing stairs, and one playing the other mirror window. So it's really, that's just my personal preference because that lets you rotate around effectively enough. Then with that, back to doesn't Alibi get that shotgun as well? Yeah, she also gets impact, so that'll be nice. So with that, you now have 2
Protect
rooms
the
with the
bombs.
3-hole. Yep, one there. And this is half wall.
Down
This
to
is
10
also
seconds.
half wall. This is sandwich, bunker,
5 seconds.
and just the wall. That's kind of just basic callouts. With that,
Increased surveillance on bombs.
now onto
Op
the
4
next
has a
rooms.
diffuser.
If your team is good enough and you know that your team is good enough, you can actually invest someone right here with like a shield and hold like a pixel peek like here. And with the new update to shields, which is stupid, they just turned into mirror windows, put one here, just wait, boop, boop. Crouch up and down, you can go, you can lay down holding an angle, you can be standing up holding an angle, and then you don't have to worry about this wall at all because it's open, and there's a mirror or someone playing there. So if the
You have entered the controlled area.
if you make
Leave
the
now.
call out,
You have been spotted by
they're
hostiles.
on
Fall
the
back.
they're on the west window, then you can say mirror, run out for the
You will be
west window.
detected
Well,
if you
she
remain
comes
in this
running
area.
out, shoots, bang,
Spotted.
dead guy. Runs back in, you're safe, then hold is good. But you put one person here. Now you do need a Jaeger device in order to stop grenades. If you ever want to hard hold an area, you need Jaegers. Then the other position is with one person there, you put one person here. The reasoning for this is it stops run ends. Well, it stops the ability, well, no, it gives you crossfires where if they try and enter through here, well, swing there, swing there. If they try and enter through here, well, hold this angle, or better yet, you fall back so you're not exposing yourself. Hold this angle, maybe you do this so you have a little bit of concealment, and there you go. That's one hold you can do. But some people don't like holding security, and one is you'd probably want barbed wire down the doorways there and there, just to help a little bit. Also, maybe one down in the middle. I mean, a lot of it comes down more just to the threat of barbed wire than anything else. But then you may be thinking, okay, this team is good enough that we can't hold security. So with that, you then put people below. So if you put 2 people around the workshop area, I like having this door open, wall, and with this lets me rotate all around this area. And due to that, I can be effective for my team. You can also double hit this, so if they make the call out, hey, they're on the north windows, jump out,
If you remain in this
window
zone,
there,
you will be
shoot them
detected
up.
by hostiles.
Okay, they're on the balcony area.
You will
Okay,
be
swing
detected
out,
if you
kill.
remain in this area.
Okay, they're on the west wall, jump out, swing,
Your
kill.
location has been compromised.
And if you, I need to go back on defense again because I need Valkyrie to show you some stuff. But with that, you can, yeah, just with that, that's just some of the stuff you can do. And then, yeah, and then if you're playing below, you're going to want a pulse. I like having a pulse and another C4, maybe a mute down here, because having two nitro cells gives you a lot of power when it comes to stopping the default plant, going down roughly right about there. Because you can just come over here, swing, throw, boom, you win. You also, another trick is you can actually come out here, throw a nitro cell up like that. It's a bit more dangerous, but it is possible. And yeah, that's kind of just, roamers are just adapting. Can you hold security? No. Okay, go hold below. And if you can't even hold below, then you can do an office hold where you keep basically you keep 3 people on site here, you know, usual one there, another one here, and then someone holding down B. Or actually, you can ignore the B person, so long as the Legion player, whoever's playing right here, is aware of the windows and doors. Have one person play here, maybe a person play here or here, and you just hard hold this office area, because from there, from here, you could actually go for a late flank through security if they're not paying attention, which will just give your team an upper hand. So it's kind of if they're going for an armory push based on that, it's kind of a late flank push where you basically are baiting them in to go here, at which point you may have, when the bomb is about to come down, you have this mirror window player rotate here, you have the Legion player rotate the half wall or a smoke if you have him, you have mirror constantly playing here, so you have 2 people actively contesting this doorway, another one ready to support this B, either support B as well as kill anybody coming through there, or swinging this window, and then you have 2 players from offices pushing through the security, trying to just force gunfights or force a confrontation, and just say, okay, you want to go for this push, well, you better have 2 people watching the flank, or we're just going to be doing runouts all day long. And for that, based on the roamers, you may want to, instead of putting 2 there, you have 1 person run out this here, gun A1 there, see if it's clear. Well, if you know that's clear, then coming in through this hallway, you know this is your only threat, really. I mean, yes, technically you could have been holding here, but most people don't. But you could walk in through this, you could walk in through here, clearing angles, looking for bodies. So if the push is going down, you can now have a late flank going in while you also condense on them from A and go based on that. It's a bit more of a turbo defense that's there's kind of almost a trap defense where you're just wasting time, and then once the actual push is about to come down, you go for a flank and you have them and you try and just catch them in between a pincer. And that's kind of the idea of this hold, and kind of one of the ways that you can do stuff. And yeah, that's kind of just how I would set it up. So just go through this. That's kind of just basic hold of this area. And now I'm going to actually quit, and I will be back in a minute. I'm going to go to the restroom, and from there I'll show you how to attack that. Alright, so actually I lied because I forgot I want to show you a Valkyrie camera, and I want to actually test it out myself. But with that, these starting matches. Bank, border, fantastic. And we are going to... Good? No. No, we're good. Alright, so I just want to get this one Valkyrie camera thrown to kind of I'll show you a few Valkyrie cameras actually. And let's see. What I need to know is ventilation workshops.
Protect the bombs. Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Bomb location secure.
Wow, really? I am... Wow, I am actually trash at this. Let's see if this is the one I was going for. Yeah, okay. So just stand close to her, and I want to see if I can actually pick that
You have
up,
entered
because
an
I
enemy
can.
controlled area. Leave now. Your location has been
Where did
compromised.
that one go? Alright, so no, I can't pick up that one. And this one landed on a truck. How does this actually give me the information I need? Actually, yeah, so this could actually work, because I would not be looking at a cam right here. Anyway, you can throw that up there. It's a bit of a common Pro League one, but it does have use. And by using that, it will give you information on whether or not anyone's on balcony, on the window, rappelling on the west side, outside the west side. So it gives you information for runouts. Then, another cam I like is right there, because if you're pushing in through here, you may look up here a bit, but you're not going to be worried more about if someone coming from there, if someone coming from there. You're not going to be looking at this. Those are two cams I like. I'm trying to figure out if there's a third. I don't know what trick is if you want to put a cam in sight and you don't want the enemy to shoot it, do it like, throw it like that. Yeah, that's not even as good as I hoped for, actually. So the reasoning is if you're coming in through
If you
here,
remain in this zone, you will be detected
it's
by
hard to
hostiles.
see if you're not looking for it, because that's what you see of it, and so you may not recognize
You will
that
be
as
detected if
the
you remain
actual
in this
Valkyrie
area.
camera. So due to that, you can gain information as a defender on literally the entirety of like basically just on the default plant spot of right here, or the plant spot right here. Now normally this is the default plant spot mainly because you can't get shot from below. That's why that's default. Then with that, I'm going to go on to attack and show you how I like to attack the
All friendlies were eliminated.
I like
Mission
to
failure.
attack the site. How to attack armory. No. So for this, for my attacks, I like either a Thermite or Hibana, depending on
To
how
locate
it...
a bomb.
Basically, if a Mira's in play, go Hibana. If there's a Thermite, and if there's no Mira, then go Thermite. So with that, you
5
will
seconds before
you
insertion.
need one of those two, Buck Thatcher.
A bomb must be located and
I like
defused.
Nomad, and then really whoever, maybe Sledge for extra grenades, maybe Jackal, or well, actually Capital would probably be one of my preferred picks, just because of how strong he is. But basically, you would come over and you would get a Claymore on this window. Maybe that's a Thatcher. Really, it doesn't matter, but you just need that window Claymore. Then you get a Nomad there to stop the runouts, and you get a Nomad right about here or here. Doesn't really matter which side, or even here, because some people like to just run out this, just open that up, run out, and shoot. And if you're not ready for it, they're gonna have the upper hand. So at this point, I normally send the Buck and Thermite over to this positioning, with the Thermite holding below here. Now, the reasoning Thermite is here is you want to keep him safe, and from here he can just come over, throw up the drone, go into cover, contest. Well, now if they try and do a run out, hit the Nomad, turn, shoot, free kill for the Thermite. Then from there, the other reason is that's a lot safer than Thermite possibly taking fights here, because I like sending the Buck up here, opening the window, propelling upside down, and then looking for picks based off of what the info the Thermite's giving. Then during this time, the other 3 members will be pushing from Valley. So 2 of them are going to be invested here. while the third is invested right here. Now this person's job, wait for runouts. If you get a claymore down, then you don't have to do this, and they can go for just droning. You then are going to have one person here, ready to go for fights. Actually, no, in all honesty, I'd prefer to have a claymore on this doorway. Then you put 2 people on this doorway, and then you put a droner behind here or so, whose job is to drone out the security area. Because most people aren't going to hold here, and even if you do, you're exposed to buck there, and a lot of people won't fight that angle. Then if you trust your ability to win gunfights, you can go in, you can peek, depending on where they're holding, peek there, swing, looking, what's that? They're over here, maybe you shoot through there, doesn't really matter. But you do that. Then your third nomad charge is going to go on that doorway for a flank hold. At which point, once this is done, we're going to pretend that this is shotgunned out. And now you have to invest in the flank watch. So for that, I think that if you put someone here, then this is good because they can, if they want to, they can open up this angle. And now if they get peeked, well, you're not going to be looking right here, so you have an advantage already. Then if you get shot at, well, you can just drop down. You can then have a nomad there to help you, so you don't even have to be holding an angle. You can just be waiting. The reason I don't like holding outside here is because of the run out there. So with that, I think it's better just to invest more people in sight. But Thermite at this point will actually come and rappel up. And Thermite comes here. Buck then goes below. So Thermite and Buck are here. One person is watching sight, watching the flank, probably a nomad. Thatcher then comes to do his thing. Maybe he comes here. Or, yeah, probably goes there while another person is waiting around that area. Because if, for some reason, the flank holder loses the gunfight, they can then go and swing and actually contest the flanker as well. Then Thermite is here. He's going to be droning for the Buck. And he's going to drone this area right here. So this is where it comes to team kind of synergy, where if Thermite is here and he says, okay, they're not holding the they're holding the mirror window right here, but there's no Jaeger ADSs, then Buck can come here with a grenade, throw it, and if you're better at grenades than I am, you can have it bounce off of this wall and kill whoever's behind here. So now that mirror window has, I mean, you get a free kill based off it, because there's always going to be someone playing the mirror window. However, if there's a Jaeger, then you can have Thatcher throw as Thatcher. You can then have Buck swing out. Grenade. So, really, I mean, really it's just, actually no, you don't even need the Thermite to join, you just have the, it's more just do you waste the grenade or not. And that's something that you're going to have to figure out based on your team. But once that's done, Buck's job is kind of done. Once you have this droned out and you know it's clear, then Thermite goes Thermites, and then Thatcher is over here waiting, looking for picks, looking just in case there's a, well, I mean, if you know it's drone, you don't really have to worry about too much, but you just worry about that. Then from there, it's how do I want to say, it kind of comes down to the push. So you're gonna have one person inside a security, and you can hold an angle to the doorway / wall that was open. You're gonna have Thatcher here, and Thermite's gonna be rappelling right about here with the diffuser. The Thermite's job is more just to look pretty there. Nomad's still on the flank watch, and Buck rappels down. So Buck is kind of a dead man walking at this point, where it doesn't matter if he dies or not, because what you want to do is you want to come to this angle, to this doorway right here, lay down, and just buck up, because you're gonna get about 90% of the bunker area by doing that, and you're relatively safe. So the purpose of that is once you have everybody holding angles, because this wall is open, then if you're trying to play right here and suddenly, oh shit, that got bucked up, well, now gotta run, gets gunned down from there. Or maybe you try and fight this. Well, if you have people holding the proper angles, then you can have two people shooting you at once. You then, so you can't really run, and really you can actually kind of hold right about here. However, if the buck knows that, you just can come buck some more stuff. So that's why you go and you throw a buck right there. Then with that, once this area is secure, your goal is to go for the plant. Now, if this wall is soft, you can theoretically plant default right here, so long as you're not getting pressured. However, a lot of the times you will be getting pressure, so default becomes that spot, where the thermite just runs across and plants right here, while your buck, once you say the plant's going to be going down, buck will actually rappel up here, deal with anybody playing here, and then just be holding an angle. Because you don't really care too much about holding the, I mean, once you move this guy, you don't really have to apply vertical pressure. You need to get the plant down. And if you have a smoke operator, then you can actually just smoke there and plant. Smoke there, plant wherever you want around here. Doesn't really matter. But that's kind of just the thought process. Then plant goes down, well, you still need someone holding the security flank, and he just comes to holding angles. And what I would do as the buck is I would actually go below to where the bomb is planted and just be holding angles. Because once you can hold it, because if you're just holding an angle, then it doesn't matter how good the enemy is. If you can just waste time, well, now they got defused, okay, bam, they're dead. And that's kind of how you attack this. Now, you can do an office push, however, I think that's a lot more difficult. But before this, I'm going to show you how to kill both cams from this site. Basically, you spawn in, look right. Wow, I'm terrible. Cam 1 dead. Cam 2 dead. They lost 2/3 of their outside information on that. And then I also like, when I'm actually attacking here, I like coming up here and then contesting the window, because it's rare that someone's spawn peeking, but if they are, then you can deal with that. As well as it's an off angle for anybody running out there, so you can kill them. You can then jump, push up, just use cover however much you want, and it really is just personal preference. That is how I would attack this site.
15
Then
seconds remaining.
we're going to move on to the defense for good old
10 seconds
ventilation and workshop.
5 seconds remaining. You've run out of time.
So ventilation workshop is a vertical hold that you have to do, and it's a vertical hold, and you have to hold it that way. If you don't, you lose. Because the main issue with this site
Secure the area. Keep
is
the bombs
the
protected.
B-bomb. Now you're always gonna have a rotate hold there.
10
You always
seconds
need one.
insertion.
But if you have no holes above,
Down
the enemy
5
can
seconds.
just run in through this doorway. They can damn.
Keep an eye out for Op 4 attempting to
Here,
defuse your
basically,
bomb.
they can just
You
run
have
into that
entered
door.
an
They can run through this
enemy-controlled
door,
area. Leave
plant
now.
here, and this thing is bulletproof. You will not get an angle on this guy easily. So you have to hold from above, and a lot of teams won't recognize that. Where if there's no holes above, you can just plant. I mean, so long as there's basically not a mirror window just staring at the site, then you can plant. But with that, I then go into the reinforcements. So reinforcement there, and I like actually, was that one connected? It's real. You almost don't use reinforcements downstairs due to how this is. No, so really, that's the only one you need of the 3 walls over here, of the 4, because these 3 are all connected, and you either invest all of 3 or you invest those 3 elsewhere and then play off that. And a lot of times teams like having rotates here, and you want to have legions in that around there. But that's really all you do. Now sometimes you may want to throw a reinforcement there. Really it's 1 or 2. Then with that, you have to have both hatches open. This allows for retake strategies as well as just applying pressure. So you're gonna have the double walls over here. You're gonna bring Mira. You're gonna do the exact same thing. So now you've used, let's just say, 4 reinforcements. So with that, you want 5 and 6. I'd say, actually no, ignore that one. 7, 8, 9, 10. So ignore this one. Mirror window here, mirror window on the other wall over there. That allows you to see outside and basically hold above in the same way that you did previously, because you need the ability to swing on the default plant spots here, as well as if you're smart. Where that? I'm gonna do it this way. I don't use these, so I don't know too much about them. I just saw them used in the Rogue game. I can't remember who it was. It was Rogue versus someone. But with that, oh, okay, here we go. So you can open up above this here. Then you could also open up here to watch anybody coming through the rotate hole. You can then open up here to watch any of the default plant spot for the A-bomb. Actually, no, default is technically there. However, this is also a secondary plant spot, so you need to be able to focus there. And that's really it for the A-bomb site. Then the B-bomb site, this is where the bunker position becomes really strong. You need to have holes open so that you can contest if they are trying to go for a plant. Because if you don't have these holes open, and I'm just making up holes as I go right here. Really, this hole and this hole are my 2 default ones, with this one coming a 3rd default, just to stop any of the plants there. But, I mean, really, it's just you need someone playing this position, because if you don't, then that gives away almost all the pressure you have. But to have someone effectively play here, you need to effectively have someone holding that door. So that it's really a team-based site ventilation. And I like putting 3 people above, 2 down below. Normally it's going to be a smoke and a legion below, and a Mira and whoever the hell else you want upstairs. And legion's kind of dealing with the bathroom area, just throwing legions down, just giving callouts. While the smoke is playing the B-bomb. I mean, you're still in A, but you're playing more B-bomb than anything else. And from here, the whole purpose of, like, that's really the defense. It's more just you play vertically, that forces them to attack you. And once they attack you, you have to just win gunfights and play off of each other. You may have the one person playing here, you may have one person in offices, you then have one person... Actually, no, you can't even play that. Okay, so basically you're gonna have to have this, like, boarded up, because you don't have the manpower upstairs like you did last round. Because you need someone playing here, you need someone playing here, and you need someone playing inside of the office area. So with that, it's a spread out, and you have to kind of say, okay, where are they pushing from? Well, if office isn't getting pushed, then you may give it up, board this up, and then this person may move around to help. They may drop down the hatch to help stop the B push. They may go for a run out somewhere. It doesn't really matter. But that's kind of how I like to hold it, because if you don't actually, in my opinion, if you don't hold it this way, you're holding it incorrectly. Because if the enemy, well, basically if you don't have all of these areas open, then you're going to have issues just holding the site, just due to how much just how large the site is. Because if you don't have anybody playing the B-bomb, playing it above, then they can just run in and plant. If you don't have anybody holding the A bomb from above, then they can just come in through the bathroom area and plant. Then if you have nobody, these hatches are reinforced, then they can just say, okay, well, nobody's going to be in B. It's probably not going to be many in A, so they come in, win some gunfights. Well, great, now we can plant. Maybe they plant right here. Doesn't really matter where they plant. But that's kind of just how I think you have to hold this site, with maybe some adaptations on where you flank. For example, if there's an office push, so the push is coming from offices, then the mirror window player here can, or it doesn't have to be a mirror, but whoever's playing there can move around to security and now be going for a late flank through the office area. However, if it's a security push, then this mirror window player can go for a flank through security like this. If the attack is coming from bathroom, then this window player can go like here and just hold an angle and just wait. Then whoever's playing over there can rotate around here, hold the site here, use these holds effectively. That's kind of how you would have to hold it. It's a top-down defense, so it's in my opinion, it is hard to hold if you're going up against an experienced team. Just due to, you have to have the synergy of being able to counter what they do. You need to make sure this person is getting naded or bucked. You just have to make sure of a lot of stuff. Let's see.
You will be
40
detected if you
HP.
remain in this area. You have
Actually,
been
don't know if I
spotted by
can kill
hostiles.
myself
Fall
here.
back.
I don't think I can. That's kind of how you defend it. Now, onto the attack.
You have entered an enemy-controlled area. Leave now. Your location
I don't
has been
think there's anyone that can
compromised.
actually fall to my death. No, there's not. Okay. So instead of killing a minute 49, I'm just going to restart the lobby. That's kind of how you would hold Ventilation Workshop. Then, went from there. Let's see. Actually, no, I do want this game, and now we start. So, attacking this site, you bring roughly the same lineup you did the last time, because it's roughly the same attack. Whereas the Thermite, Thatcher, or Hibana Thatcher, Buck, who else? Nomad, and who the hell else am I going? Capital, Gridlock, whoever you want to
Use your
play.
drone to
It really
locate
doesn't
a
matter
bomb.
who the fifth person is. But first step is you clear
Insertion in
security,
10 seconds.
just like you do for a regular armory push, because you need to take
5
control of
seconds to go.
armory in order to take control of
You must
the
locate
B
and
bomb
defuse
site,
the
because a
bomb.
lot of times you want to go for a B push. So with that, you do the same thing, and you can just go back and look at, you can just listen to what I said first time, you know, Nomad, Claymore, Nomad, or Claymore, Nomad, get the flank watch set up, take armory, you know, have the Buck come around here, use shotguns up the floor, or if you want to, you could nade it, but really, it's just a simple, you come here, Buck up, and you're good. But with that, I do want to show you this angle, kind of as a thermite, if you're rappelling here, or if you're ever rappelling here, doesn't really matter. You can actually see into the, you can see down this, into the doorway here from this angle, and your head level is so off compared to where it normally is, down about here, that they're gonna have issues hitting you. But with that, first thing the main threat is you kind of have to worry about this guy, but a lot of people don't play here, so you don't have to worry about it, because the main issue with here is you can come and swing like this. However, if you know they're going to do that, 200 IQ play. So, with this, the first thing you do is you look in here. Alright, so they have themselves a rotate hole. and they have nothing else. Fantastic. Okay, guys, I make the call out. Nomad, stop what you're fucking doing. Throw a charge up there. Everybody, get ready to just bum rush them and plant. Someone's holding this angle. Somebody's and then you just have somebody holds this angle. So you have, let's see, who is that? You have one person holding this angle, one person holding inside of there. The next three bum rush in. Actually, no, two bum rush in. Player number 3 is holding this angle. Player number 4 bum rushes in, holds an angle there. Make sure that this entire wall is clear, but the whole purpose of that wall is you're just going to look and say, whoever drones it out is going to say, okay, that's clear. You don't have to worry about the wall. So, player 4, so let's see. Player 1's holding the angle there. Player 2 is holding the angle here. Player 3 holding the angle here. Player 4 comes in, holds this angle. The purpose of this is just to stop any rotates, because this person can't actually stop or rotate. So person 4 there, person 5, you run in, you plant, you win. It is actually that simple, because if you do not have vertical pressure, you cannot get shot through this wall as a planter, and if they're not ready for it, then you're going to win. It takes almost no utility as well. So with that, that's how you would do it. It doesn't even matter what operator is what, because you can just rush it and plant. Then that if the... However, let's say they are actually effectively holding from above. Well, Buck can come do his job once you go and you take security. You could also just have him get a nade ready to nade wherever he wants there. And really the whole purpose of this is you're there to clear out armory. Once armory is clear, then your Buck needs to go upstairs, because basically once you take armory, you need to change positions. Because this, actually I want to check this angle out again. Yeah, okay. So this is based on this entire wall is soft. However, this is the only really hole. So once you have well, not even armory, but just the top-down control for the B bomb site, what you're gonna do is you're gonna have somebody holding the angle here. You're gonna have somebody, probably Nomad is the best one for this, holding the angle here, and this person is just a reactionary. You're not really going to be able to do much. Their job is more just to contest if any of those walls are open, because the default plant spot isn't going to be here. It's going to be right about here, because although it's a more dangerous compared for that wall, it's less dangerous. Actually, I'm trying to figure out which I would want. Well, you have 4 people you can do something with. You know, actually, no. Ignore what I'm saying on this. I'm going to go for the same plan, where person 1, person 2, person 3. However, 4 and 5 change. So instead of bum rushing in, you have top-down control. So this is where Buck comes in handy. So you're going to go over here, and your job of player 4 and 5 is to maintain control of this area. If you can maintain control of the bunker area, you will win. So person number 5, I say comes about here. Now, if you can actually get to bunker, this is a great angle to... Actually, this is like a great angle to hold, because they're not always ready for it. And you have cover, and if they push you, you will know about it. Then the Buck, you Buck right here. You now see the rotate hole. They cannot rotate through there to kill anyone. And that's kind of how you attack it. So, you do the same push where you take security by however the fuck you do it. Doesn't matter. Then, once you do that, the Buck and someone else is going to go upstairs. One person holds the angle here. Their job is to make sure nobody swings out this hallway. In all honesty, you could repel like this, throw them off. Person 1 there. Person 2 can hold here. However, if you want to, another trick, you can go here. No, fuck. further. You can go here. Person 3 is then watching the window. Now the purpose of this person is 1 to contest here, 2 to contest that window if someone's stupid enough to do a jump out. So person, let's see, person 1 here, 2 there, 3 there. Person, oh no, you can't actually do that because you have to have 5, 1's planting, so you give up this, actually, no, you can't give up that person. You give up this person. You hope that they don't come in through there, and this person's holding here, ready to go for a refrag here. So, you still have 2 above, 1 person planting here, 1 person on that window, and 1 person here. And then once the bomb goes down, then the guy runs. You have the choice of either you can stay in here and fight, or you can run out and go and hold this angle now, which gives this guy 1 angle to deal with. He can then swing if something happens. So that's kind of the angles and kind of the attack you would go for. And you're not going to ever be able to get this down perfectly unless you actually practice it. But it's more just these are the options you have. Then, yeah, really that's it. So, that's how I like to attack it anyway.
We have been eliminated.
I really don't like office pushes because I think they're too easy to flank on. With that, we now move on to site number 3. This comes down to one question. Can you hold security effectively? If you can hold security effectively, then you go customs. If you can't, you go bathroom. The reasoning for that is you will you have to hold above in security if you want to hold the you have to hold security if you want to hold customs, but if you can't hold security, you can't hold customs. That's the entire thing about it. So basically I'm gonna assume like it's nothing really magical. If you want to hold the customs area, you throw 4 reinforcements here, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 and 10 go. Actually, no, you can't. 9 and 10 don't even matter. So you throw whoever's your best gunfighters above, and you hope to God they win the fight. You then put a smoke playing right here, and a bandit. 1 bandit tricking if they don't bring grenades. If they do bring grenades, then you just let it get opened and you switch back here. Your job is to make sure they don't just swing in, as well as you have this reinforced. You then have a 3rd player, doesn't matter who, playing around the workshop area, ready to open up the door if necessary. Go for a run out. Really, these 2 sites all suck. I hope they replace the border with a different map because only 1 site is really viable. This ventilation is not that viable. So with that, it's really just if you want to hold this effectively. Really, it's just this is a clusterfuck. The downs, basically, bathrooms and tellers are both clusterfucks. And then, oh yeah, number 9 goes on that hatch. Number 10, you don't reinforce that. You open it up so you can run away, but you put 10 wherever you want. But then, hold on. Okay, I was talking and apparently my mic was still muted, but anyway. This exists so you can just drop down. You're probably going to die in customs anyway, so it's not going to do anything. If they try and push you from this area, you can hold right about here. This is bulletproof, so peeking, holding angles, do whatever the fuck you want. It really, both customs and bathroom are clusterfucks, so they suck to defend for both. For bathroom, what I like is 2 reinforcements there. 2 reinforcements there. 3 on here. Hatch gets open. And I have to rush through this a little bit because I gotta go somewhere, but that gets opened. So you can fight down from above. You then put your another 3 reinforcements, so you've used 8 in total on there. Then maybe 9 and 10 go there, doesn't really matter. You then have somebody playing around. You have 2 people playing around the site, the other 3 are above. You open up the hatches so you can rotate around. You get ready to do runouts and stuff like that where, alright, they're on either the balcony or they're down below. Well, you can jump out here, swing on the balcony, swing below. Probably won't get a kill, but you may get lucky. Then if they try and push through workshop, you can flank, you can drop down hatch there. If you want to, you can throw a mirror window right here. You can throw a Maestro cam there to watch the default. You can throw a Maestro cam here to watch all of this area. You can throw a Maestro cam on the machine there. It doesn't really matter. But really, at the end of the day, you're just going to be trying to hold offices, playing from above, and just taking gunfights, because there's not really much else you can do. You could theoretically try to open up the wall there, but that's not going to do anything. You need it reinforced most of the time, but if it's reinforced, it's going to always get opened. It's not always going to help you, so this entire side is a clusterfuck. I hate it. It's basically bring people to win gunfights and you're good. No, you're not good. You have a chance. Anyway, with that, I'm going to end it. I hope this helps. I'll try to do these for, like, I'll try to be going over all of the maps again. Like, if you send me a clubhouse video, I'll do the VOD review, and then I'll go over the clubhouse itself and kind of how I like to do things, just to give you more of an idea. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'm going to end it.